give the employees a card that will be preloaded, depending on if it's family or single care. So any increases they will not really actually feel until they get past that. If you'll recall, for Blue Shield Blue Cross, once we got at the end of that deductible period with the card, they would be responsible for $1,750 on the back end. With Cigna's only $1,000 on the back end. And the best part of that is we're seeing, instead of a 29% increase, we're looking at a 15.82% increase overall, which is relatively about $159,792. And part of their incentive for us to come over, because they definitely want our business, is they're gonna offer us $35,000 to defer the transition. It's usually, with your census and everything else, it's usually about $25,000 plus to do that transfer over to another company. And they've offered to cover that for us. So that's a good thing, because that saves us. The Anthem price was just for general purposes. You were looking at a renewal with Anthem, an increase of 28.29%, which would have been $1.2 million, and an additional cost of $264,736,000. So with Cigna's $159,792, so that saves us a little over $100,000 this year.
Questions from Commissioner?
No question.
No question.
Ms. Dean? Questions from the audience? Go open public hearing. Hearing none. Our regular work session starts at 6:30. We will be back. So we'll close out the public hearing and,
You're way back there. You eating your dinner or your dessert?
Either that or the doctor.
Call to order the work session for the Morris City Council meeting 2024. Review the agenda real quick. This meeting, the agenda has a couple of things. So you have the regular meeting, the work session meeting, the special budget meeting, the city council retreat minutes, and the executive session. I assume everybody's had a chance to at least have those in their possession. Any issues, questions, comments? Presentation, this will be fun, very normal, regular council meeting. And that's New Image Dental Laboratory. For there might be a large number of people in the city who don't even know it's there. And these are really artisans, crafts people who make teeth. And they sometimes make them by hand. And they make them by multi-million-dollar machines. And it's been in the city for almost 40 years, actually specifically 40 years. And people invite some very talented people from high school and others, and they stay with me for a very, very long time, almost feels like, but you should be here tonight. And if you're asking where he's located, it would be right across from Harley Davidson. There's a shopping center there. And then you go slightly around the back, and it's a lot bigger than it looks. And he's got his line there. And the inside of it looks, Mr. Beck was there, I think RJ was there. It's a little surprising. It's not what you expected when you went there. So, it's really cool stuff. So, Dr. Jeff Palm, and we'll give him 40 years of business. But he's been a great it would have enough height to it, you could see it over the top. And obviously with some new construction, already underway for a new 8,000 seat convocation center arena, have another hotel with a good branding. Yeah, so that's your thing, is having something branded, everything looks really good. So if all goes well, that would be number 3. We're looking forward to that. I think they're asking for a public hearing. Is that public hearing for the regular session?
Yes, it was absolutely presented.
Then, new business, we're gonna defer the budget. We've got a couple things we're still looking at, there's some changes we just made for health insurance, which is pretty big. And a couple others. We did hold a public hearing on the budget again, so that would be the second one at 6 o'clock. So that pretty much takes us out, we don't have any issues for executive session. That being said, any questions? Our regular meeting starts at 7:30. The coffee is amazing. Alright. He says it is, which means it's probably not gonna cook it since 8 o'clock this morning. 10 minutes, okay, so we actually have some good coffee, and we'll see you all back at 7:30. Good evening. I'd like to call to order the May 28th, 2024 regular session of the Morrow City Council. If you will stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a moment of silence, please. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please be seated. We need to make a couple of quick changes to the agenda. We're going to add number 5, which is going to be under T for the approval of the consent agenda, and that's to add the meeting minutes for the executive session. We're going to make a slight change to the public hearing. Public hearing related to the budget, but it's really going to be approval of the plat. That'll be defined here in a minute, and then we will defer the vote on the final budget section till at least the next council meeting. Do I hear a motion to approve the amended agenda? Do I hear a second? All those in favor say aye. Ms. Knight? Ms. Dean? Mr. Quah? Ms. Wynn? Motion carries. Approval, items 1 through 5. Approval and adoption of May 14th regular session minutes, work session minutes, special budget meeting from May 11th, city council retreat minutes from April 6th, and the May 14th, executive session. That you had the chance to review those. Any questions, comments, concerns? Hearing none, do I hear a motion to approve? Do I hear a second?
Second.
Motion properly seconded. All those in favor say aye. Ms. Knight? Mr. Quah? Ms. Dean? And Ms. Wynn?
Aye.
Motion carries. Presentations. We have a gentleman here tonight who represents a long-term business in the city of Morrow, Dr. Jeff Holland, and he is the owner and operator of New Image Dental Laboratory, and we want to congratulate him on 40 years of business in the city of Morrow, and we have a little presentation. We had a chance to talk to Dr. Holland, and I'm going to let him explain to you a little bit about what he does. But these are like the hidden gems of the city of Morrow. The people that are the bedrock, been around here for a long time. There's a few of us in the audience that could go back at least that far. But he's operated a business here, and he has some really cool stuff. And what we wanted to do was to give him at least a token of our appreciation for not only being here for 40 years, but being part of our city. And New Image Dental Laboratory is celebrating 40 years of business in the city of Morrow. We've had a chance to talk, but tell your audience a little bit about your company per se.
First of all, I'm not a doctor, just to let you know that.
We will
My
make you a
dad
doctor.
was, but I'm not. I did construction work before that, but you know what? like everybody says, when you're young and things happen, I was telling, you that, I was 23 years old. Mom made me go back to school at Georgia State to try to get an education, and I got a job at a dental lab that was down here in Lake City. And didn't know what it was. A friend of mine said, "You're good with your hands, come get a job." So I started entry level. I don't know if I made $4 an hour or whatever it was, $4 or $5, and started working. And one thing led to another, and I guess right before I was 24 years old, 2 of the guys came to me and said that for a reason this place wasn't gonna be there, we need to open something. And I said I was gonna open a cabinet shop. I love making furniture, and so I'm like, I'm gonna open a cabinet shop. And they said, no, you need to open a lab and we'll work for you. And so I went, okay, why not? So we made up a name over a beer, called it New Image, and built out the basement of my dad's building, and he was the dentist, and so he was our first client. And I tell my kids every day, roll up our sleeves. We went to work, and just really, the only reason we grew, and we grew not only locally, I do work all over the United States, and it's really by word of mouth, because I tell them, we do the best work we can every day. Take a lot of pride in what we do gorgeous work. And the dentists and other people go to lectures, see our work up on the screen, and they ask where, and they go, it's a lab in Morrow, Georgia. And my phone rings. So we have accounts now for California, Puerto Rico, Boston, Alaska. I mean, dentists from all over the country that FedEx or UPS every day to us here in Morrow. We open up the packages and we do the work, and then we ship it back out to patients. And I can share some. I mean, we just did a veteran in Washington, D.C. guy that was in the armed forces, got hit with an IED, a lot of damage to him. We reconstructed him, and it was beautiful. It was on a Friday night about 2 weeks ago. I got a picture of him before and after, and a grown man actually, hugged him, crying, and gave him back a smile. And so I tell everybody, we change people's lives. We really do. And if they don't have it, we, with the dentist, again, we're like a pharmacy. We work by prescription. We don't see patients. We try to get back really nice smiles to the people, and it brings a lot of fulfillment to us and to our staff, because I get to share the photos. They're all over my phone, and things that we get before and afters and all that. And so I've been doing it, I can't believe 40 years. And like I said, I started at the building right there. My dad had a building that's around South Lake Mall, right behind the World Vision Center at the time, the one that comes like a triangle with the roof. He built that in '78, and so I started in his basement, and it was me and 2 people, and now we've got almost a little over 90 people, I think, now in the laboratory. We occupy 25,000 square feet, and we're slowly filling it up. But it's really just roll up your sleeves every day, do good work, and everything else comes. And it just has grown through the time. So if everybody asked me 40 years ago, I think I'd be doing this. If it didn't work, I'd go back and make cabinets, and I'll still love the woodwork. But it has, and we've got a really great national reputation, and people do come from all over, to see us or to see what we do. And we hire people not only locally a lot. We do bring people from around the country that come in that want to join our team as well. So it's been a great 40 years. I'm going to keep doing it for a few more years. I've got 4 daughters in the business. 4 of my girls, they're each in different parts, and I hope it continues for many generations. That's my goal. Dad's gonna start slowing down a little bit, but other than that, it's been great. Like I said, this is the one and only place I've ever been. It was there, and then we went into the bigger building 17 years ago, and like a Field of Dreams, we were smaller, but we grew into it, and hopefully we'll just keep it going. Bottom line. Thank you.
Public hearing for the approval of the plat. Ms. Marty Tracy, Planning and Zoning.
This is a conditional use.
Okay.
And, planning and zoning board had a meeting on the 28th, today, so 7 days ago. public hearing, and they heard my recommendation, also known as staff recommendation, which you have in your packet. This is not a common conditional use request. The developers of the potential hotel are wanting to ensure a hotel will be acceptable when approved prior to making purchase. They also are considering purchasing an adjacent vacant property as a form of entry onto this location, but that's down the line. What they've begun discussion with the mayor and city manager regarding what hotels they're considering. But because of concerns of these two gentlemen, they still wanted to go for the conditional use to later discuss the terms and conditions. So this is to simply approve this property for a hotel. They were considering Home Suites by Hilton as their first choice. Concerns for that could involve the fact that kitchen equipment would be installed, fixed kitchen equipment, because Home Suites operates as a business level, higher price point hotel, but they have stoves. If in fact, so my suggestion was if the hotel brand should change or ownership would change, one of the conditions would be to require that the kitchen equipment be removed. The planning and zoning board discussed it at length, had their public hearing, and they determined that with consideration of the above, which included the potential removal of the kitchen equipment, they recommend that the Aaron Council approve the property have a conditional use for a hotel.
Questions? Ms. Knight?
So, in prior conversations in City Hall, I'm gonna ask the city manager, is this the same potential project that was discussed previously? Or is this different? Because I see that it's close to the vacant property. I may have envisioned that project on the wrong line.
No, he keeps coming back. This is a different variant of it. It's the same project location, but this is a different brand. So there's a different, hotel there potentially. So this is, the Hilton product, but this gentleman's product is not, and we're not locked in on the exact, product, but there's three varieties of variants that they can look at. So it's the same location, but a different location.
Okay.
And something that might be good for consideration too, because some folks feel like don't have enough hotels. Easy answer is no, but one of the members of this development group is the owner of our hotels that's already here in the city.
And so I know it may be premature, but while we're looking and envisioning a couple of things, what was the thought towards access for the property?
If he fires this property, you would have access here. But when this property was totally zoned, all of this was developed at the same time. So this lot, so he has access here, Cyrus here. That was potentially part of this totally this for.
So so what Mayor's explaining is with the development that currently exists, there's a strip plaza that will be street facing. The subject property is behind it, so there's already access based off of the strip plaza facing Mount Zion Road. Okay, so that's the one part. Sounds good. So, my question about making this a conditional use, but if ownership changes hands, pulling the equipment out. I guess in my mind, I'm imagining that being a deterrent or a cost prohibitive, like if there was a change for whatever reason, it would require a significant investment to make sure that they fall into compliance with the zoning, in addition to making sure that it's a viable property. I guess seeing a little bit of concern with that, understanding why, but seeing a concern, things happen to buildings, you know, purpose changes. You still wanna have a great outcome with the product that's delivered with the building, but restricting the potential of what it could be additionally, I guess, that is a concern.
We currently, extended stay hotels are prohibited. So this is, the quality of this hotel, if it were to be a Hilton Home 2 Suites, is the price point prevents the standard extended stay situation. It could be detrimental to an area. So fortunately, this is just the beginning, is to okay it for a hotel. And as negotiations move forward, if this turns out not to be a good idea, it won't be a condition. So, I'm sure that it's good input, so this is why I asked for comments.
Yeah, so, and that was, so unfortunately I didn't go to the planning and zoning meeting. I probably would have asked that question at that meeting, but, having the opportunity to ask the question now, and we do have the planning and zoning chairperson here.
Do you want to get him started?
Would it be too off script? You know, cause I would like to, because now it's like, okay, of course, hotels are good, but wanting a certain standard and knowing that we're locking in a standard and value, developable, you know, over time, if it does change. I would like to hear a comment. Going off the list, off the script a little.
Oh, we're good, we got some, okay.
I think Mr. Tracy answered your question earlier, Councilwoman, like when she said during the negotiation process between the mayor, the city manager, and the potential owner, if the branding changed, that's the key. If the branding changed, we would take the appliances out of the hotel, which would prevent it from becoming an extended stay motel. That's the key right there.
There could be a way of physically handling that, but, that was just a thought, suggestion.
And I think it's more related to age. When something gets built and it's brand new, you know, but some of us have been around here for, you know, 4 decades. 4 decades later, the Red Roof Inn doesn't look like the Red Roof Inn was when you built it, right? So, a brand, like a Hilton brand, has a protection measure. So usually you buy these franchises for like 20 years. You buy them for a pretty good bit of time. Yeah, but 30 years from now, how do we make it so that there is at least something that goes with the property itself that says, you know, somebody's got to have a consideration. If they decide to change that brand, there's a consequence to changing that brand. And that doesn't mean that they couldn't come back to the city itself and be able to say, at that time, we're looking for, you know, a change to the conditional use we were granted. So that would give whoever is here at that time a chance to kind of, you know, a second bite of the apple as well. I don't think it's gonna hurt the gentleman in terms of that, 'cause first they have to go to conditional use anyway. Second, there is a potential that there's 2 levels to this home 2 section. One has the equipment in it, one does not. And he's actually deciding which one makes sense. Right? At this point, they look a lot similar. Right? So, you know, we're not losing hotel motel tax. They can't afford to stay there for a month because the numbers would be out of whack. You know, so, but again, it gives everyone a chance to say in 20 years or whatever that may be, you know, if they want to come back for that conditional use at that time, whoever is here, you know, can make the best interest of the city at the time. but it didn't appear like it was gonna stop him from making the decision, which was good. Yeah.
Yeah, that does help. It helps me understand the thought process as to, you know, requiring that change with the conditional use. Because we restrict a lot.
And I think he told us it was, for this particular hotel, it was $189,000 a key. That's a lot for a
Yeah.
little one.
Yeah.
So to get that kind of return, it won't be anytime soon.
Yeah,
that
the
he'll
price
be-
point and the, yeah.
You can't make it now.
I appreciate you, Bob.
And we can't get enough hotels.
Yeah, I mean, hotels are not bad.
Other questions? Ms. Quam?
So are we particularly looking to the Hilton brand or I mean, any brand that have the category that, you know, we're talking about?
We're headed down the lane, but this is one of those where if you ask for the condition, and we get so specific on it, and because he's got like 3 particular options, one that may not be necessary, but we wanna tell you, the worst case scenario, let's say it is, you know, okay, then we got that ability. We obviously will try not to do that, but a lot of that depends on studies, right? So these studies are out there, very few people want to make an investment in a piece of property if the red tape, if you will, is gonna get in the way. So if you say, you got a green light, now go work with your finance team, see if this will work. Remember, these brands as well do their own studies, so they're not just gonna let you put a Hilton out where they want to, they have to buy that as a brand. They have to agree to it as well. So this would be a hindrance to a few people, when they say, yes, but, come back when you've solved that. And here we solved it, and hopefully get everything that we think we're gonna get. And if it turns out not to be what we want, then, we'll make them come back, and we'll say no. And of course, you can, anybody who makes a decision in the government, you can appeal it back to your city council, right? So you can sit there and go, I don't agree with you. Mark your butt right back over there in that chair, and, make a second bite at the apple and tell us what you want to do. Is that fair? Answer your questions, Paul. Christine?
It was answered because, I was, thinking about the conditional use and if something did change, it would have to come back to the city for
Yes.
us to approve it. So,
Ms. Wayne?
I don't have a question, but I like the one that you guys put in here, the section 9, 12, 12, that to put the perimeter of the roofs, and I like that the maintaining, and also you put it in the section 8 right here where the appliance not permitted for the inside use. I mean, those little details are very important, especially for our citizens to know that our city has a specific standard, but also our guests, we value our guests who come in the city, and, we're in a high-end, I wanna say high-end product here, because even if we have that detail, say, clean, free stain, linen, those are little details that's important for our citizen and our guests to know City of Marlboro has high standard, and we're offering value products to our citizens and our guests. So thank you for research those details there.
And something that maybe not everybody knows, and not all the documents are done, but we're in the process of doing a hotel study for a higher end product over there by the district, if you will. And to get that, they have to look at, what is your need? And I believe Mr. Baker can quote this, but their answer was that there was a need for even a higher end product than this. And the one we were talking about was an additional one at about 90 rooms, and they felt there was a need for another 15 or so keys. That doesn't necessarily mean another 15 hotels, it just means the demand is here based on, your existing stuff plus your arena, in terms of what is there. And you're going, that's professionals that are making this up, not us. And then for those who use the hotels, they'll understand that there are times, Drury Inn is right now our #1 hotel, and they don't have vacancies. So you'll call and you'll say, I'd like to spend the night at the Drury Inn, say we have some guests in town for, concerts or whatever, and they just don't have the space. So that means we even know that we're putting people up in hotels outside of our city, mostly by the airport, so they can get back and forth to the airport quickly. But we're not putting them in the W. Does that make sense? I mean, they're regular hotels, we should be able to put them up here ourselves. If we make our money tomorrow, we should spend it more. Other questions? Hearing none, do I hear a motion to approve the request per the recommendations of public hearing? Oh, by all means. Public. Miss Cherry.
You know. Okay, we already have 7 hotels here. We're building 2 more next to Harley Davidson, and now we're gonna add this one, and then you're talking about another one after that.
I hope so.
But this piece of property is landlocked.
It's not.
It is.
It's not.
They said it was in the other meeting.
When you say landlocked,
Well, there's no entrance to actually get to it, and where, you said something about Mount Zion, and
okay.
in the other meeting.
Well, wait a second, let's answer the questions as they're presented. All right, this property was developed at the same time on the same piece of property that the shopping center was on the front, okay? And there was a potential to build another retail section in the back. All of that was done at the same time, which means the detention pond that was built back there has the ability to serve that vacant piece. And it's been like, you know, the land is laid out, okay? And the entrance to that, not only according to that piece of property, but according to the land plats, are on the side. So, you know, where the old Toys R Us was, they've got their own, then the one right next to it, and that leads to that back parcel. However, the gentleman has an interest in old Dr. Bell's property. And for those of you who remember where Dr. Bell's property was, remember they had those old manufactured homes sitting up on the top of that hill, and they've got a small little parking lot sitting right there. If they can buy that property, in addition to the property they already are looking at, they can create an entrance on South Lake Parkway, and they would have the additional entrance on Mount Zion Road. But that's a decision they haven't made yet. So the one on the front is for sale. It's listed on LoopNet right now. I think it's listed at $350,000, and you know whether that's fair market value or not, somebody'd have to do an appraisal and tell me that. That is a potential, and if they can acquire it, they would do something there. They don't have to acquire it, but they could. Next question.
I was just trying to figure out how they were getting in and out of there.
I would like them to be able to get in on and out in both cases, because that Dr. Bell's property, and it's old Dr. Bell, he's passed, his son's an attorney, right, so.
Is his the one next to Hampton Inn?
Yes, it is.
Cause there's 2 vacant properties right there.
That's, on the plat, it looks that way, but the one that has the parking lot on it has an easement right now from Phantom Fireworks, because occasionally Phantom Fireworks has a lot of need for, you know, 4th of July, parking lot's packed, right? So they'll park over on that. But in terms of the parking lot itself, it was built for those original homes, which were Jim Walter homes or whatever they were. Somebody'd have to go back that far and remember, you know. And then remember, after a while, somebody turned those into some offices for a minute, right? So that was where your parking lot came from. Goes back a ways, doesn't it? See, them rookies are looking around right now going, how do you remember that? See? That's what that experience does for us. It doesn't make us smarter, it just makes us remember stuff. What other questions? Any other questions? You good? Other questions? Anybody? All right. All right, so now public hearing's done. All right, now we go back to the vote. Do I hear a motion to approve the request per the recommendations of the Planning and Zoning Board and the Director of the Planning and Zoning Department? Motion, do I hear a second?
Second.
Motion properly seconded, all those in favor say aye. Ms. Knight?
Aye.
Ms. Dean? Mr. Quah? And Ms. Wynn?
Aye.
Perfect, excellent. Budget was deferred. Was there anything else we could say? I think we did. Lasted longer than I thought it would. Okay. So, comments from the audience? Aaron, oh, Jerry.
I brought my notepads. I know we used to get reports from like what's going on at the Morris Center, you know, they were building, taking the tea room and building something, and are they booked, not booked, are we making any money, are we still losing money down there? And I like to see that come back, and I also like, we used to get a treasurer's report. A like to see that come back again.
We have an audit out there somewhere, one of these days it'll finish. We got an update on the Morrow Center today, but I don't have a report to give you, that was a verbal report, but we'll get you a written one, shouldn't be hard. We like to know they're actually doing okay. I will say this, and I'd like to see it in a report. They're still not profitable, but they're not as unprofitable as they used to be. Is how I heard that. And the suggestion was at least break even. You know, if you want us to like you, you have to not lose money. That is important to us. But we heard you. Other questions from the audience?
Well, this is not a question, but a comment. I want to thank, our VFW, commander over there. Thursday, he, Miss Diane McDonald, and her grandson Michael, we put out flags, at our cemetery here in the Methodist Cemetery. And, you know, every once in a while the flags kind of disappear. So we have to go out there and put them back up, but Wayne is gonna take care of that, tomorrow at the Methodist Cemetery. So I just want to thank everybody that, you know, has been most supportive, for that effort, because as we know, freedom is not free. Somebody has to give their life, and we recognize it. So thank you.
For Ms. Lana, thank you, in the veterans. Yeah, very.
Mr. Wayne Collins. Yes, I have a comment. This is, you know, there be comments made about, you know, incoming hotel to the city. You know, and, I think we gotta understand that it's not for us. It's for the future. It's for our children and our children's children, that we bring new businesses into the city and grow it and make it prosper, so that they would have a decent place to work, live, and play. That's what it's about. Sometimes we have to remove us and look at the bigger picture. And that's what it's about. And I think this mayor and council and these department heads, I think they're doing a damn good job. I really do. Because Morrow was known as a city that was not good to do business with. And it was a city known that it was not easy to do business with Morrow. And now that we got all this potential growth and these opportunities, we got to embrace it. And again, it's not for you. It's for the future.
Can we say that if we want to?
Yeah, it's for the future, it's for our children, our children's children. That's who it's for. And guess who's gonna benefit? Guess what, from that hotel motel tax? Us! We're gonna benefit, it's for all of us. We can't, you gotta take yourself out of it sometime. And that's it, that's all I have.
Wait, I have no children.
I have a question. You mean I can't have a girls' night out, go stay in front of the?
Sure, we want you to, cause then we're gonna get that hotel motel tax out of it. We want you to fill those rooms up.
Yes, Jerry.
Get Miss Dorothy to explain what's gonna go on Saturday.
Well, don't get against me yet.
No, we're working on it. We'll get there. Okay. Comments from the audience? We're good. Comments from the city council? Ms. Knight?
I did want to say, it was an enjoyable, I guess it was the past couple of weeks, enjoyable couple of weeks celebrating our police department, our fire department, our public works. We just have phenomenal public servants that work, in the city of Morrow.
Yes, we do. They rise to the occasion every time, and we really appreciate that. So I just wanted to tell them again, thank you. It's a good time celebrating, all of our groups. And, that's it.
Mr. Quan?
Yeah, like Ms. Knight said, I really want to say thank you our raising tax from our own citizens. You know, when I came here to the city and, you know, I like to bring more business and generate revenue to spend on, you know, to make our city look more beauty and to staff our team that are quality people to serve our people better. And I think I agree with you that we're doing a good job. We're going to continue to be trying to be better. Everything. Thank you.
Ms. Dean.
Okay, now, I can say, definitely,
It was just yours.
okay, I can speak about it myself. But, to, add on to what, you know, the council has said about our staff, we have the gyms. Because I think that people, when they come here to work for the city of Monroe, they always say it's different. You know, than working other places, so, and it's different for a reason, you know, because what Monroe is, and I think what the citizens are as well. Mr. Jimmy there, he's always telling me no. But I know that, you know, when I told him it's something that is a good cause, so he's always there, you know, as far as, you know, our residents. So our staff, you know, they go, you know, above and beyond. Brandon, you know, that's my other go-to guy. He'll find something for me to make it work for me. And, RJ, he won't give me any extra money, but that's good. But this city is unique, this city is unique, and, I'm honored to be on the dais here with, council members to serve the city. And, appreciate everybody, and I have to say that those two little ladies right there, and I call them little ladies because they work as volunteers for the city. Awesome. I just wanna say thank you, because, you help make the city what it is, and I appreciate it.
You wanna tell us about your farmer's market?
I'm kidding.
Okay, I'm sorry.
You rushing me? Jeez. And thank you, Marty, for, planning, you know, you have to keep Wayne, in line. But this Saturday, to, spread word, tell everybody, you know, we're bringing back the farmer's market. It's gonna be at the old, at the LCI, by the parking garage. It's gonna start and it's gonna run for, until September the 28th, I think that's the last Saturday, every Saturday, from now until September, end of September. It'll be open from, it's public from 10 until 2, and it's, produce from the farm to the table. No stickers, Mr. Jimmy. And it's fresh vegetables, those that have, anything that's produced, like, livestock and all of that, they're supposed to have their certification and their whatever permits that they need to have to sell that type of, product. So hopefully we're gonna get, you know, a great variety and cheese. I hope so. But I don't get to pick them. They pick us. So come out, tell everybody it's gonna be every Saturday, 10 to 2, and, we'll have people out there to monitor. And Mr. David is gonna be our first guinea pig. He was volunteered. He volunteered.
Yeah, voluntold, yeah.
So thank you.
Couldn't say no, yeah.
Excellent. Ms. Witt.
Yes, I have a few things just to mention. Like other council just mentioned that, it's a great pleasure to celebrate our everyday heroes from EMS, Public Works, our police, men, women for the past, few weeks. Thank you for all your service, and you guys are true heroes for our cities and our citizens. And I want to appreciate, Mr. Mayor for, introduce, Mr. Holland for the new Image Dental Laboratory for your, for your business for 40 years with the city of Monroe. Because of the mayor introduced, I have the opportunity to learn that we have a gym at the Monroe, city of Monroe, here that known in the nation. It's just an honor, thank you so much. And then third, that, I would like to recognize Ms. Simpson here from the Family Literacy of Georgia, that like previous, last council I mentioned that, she won a grant and got some book, the Vietnamese bilingual books for those little libraries throughout the county and the state. They will put it here at the end of June 28th. Volunteer needed to source the book, June 28th on a Friday, and then Saturday, we will put these books out on the little library in the park. That's all I have, thank you.
I've got one, and this one is, most people wouldn't know. Yeah, when you pour concrete, you get a chance to put your hands in the concrete. Well, Baker did that this afternoon when they were doing the foundation over there at Reynolds Road. I would challenge you all to find where he put his fingerprints, you know, but for the rest of you who might want to do that, hopefully the concrete is dried by now, and that foundation was poured today. So Rusty and all those folks that helped with that project is coming out of the ground. We owe it to our veterans, we owe it to our community, we promised we would have it, and as slow as it is, one of these days it's going to finish, and I think we're still at, what's our timetable now?
For the Reynolds Road or for?
Reynolds, yeah, let's do Reynolds.
Reynolds is, probably about 9 more months.
9 more months, all right. So you gotta pour a foundation before you can put steel out of the ground, so I feel pretty good about that.
And, I can't give up the opportunity to poke a little fun at John Lample.
For what?
That rec center.
Oh, okay. It's coming,
It's coming.
It's coming.
And John is on board with it.
Yes. We'll get it open, it's coming. I think the police department's got some cool stuff coming and some others for that, but, you know, we told them we'd do it, and there it is. So just give us a little more time, the steel should start coming out of the ground soon, you know, pour the foundation, let it harden. You know, most of it's still fenced at this point, so, you know, the average person can't just drive in it, but, Baker went over and stole some cucumbers today, so we got a chance to do that. But anyway, we enjoy, thank you, Mr. Bond, the many years of service, we're looking for another 40, easy enough, and, we're gonna have some fun, so, thank you, and you'll have to be. We're gonna have to play like a game of force or something.